I mean, it's going to be a big thing that I'm going to say now, but
Are you going to do the classics? Are you going to do Tour of Flanders?
when you see his face, you think he's going to drop in 5 minutes. Oh, I should have said that.
Was that a difficult period mentally?
I could have done the Giro, but just without any pressure. And he was saying to me, be careful, there's a dangerous right corner
Really?
coming. Where? I looked at the map, where? I just went full straight.
Will you be riding for Quick-Step next year? Welcome back to Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast for a very special guest. We've been hunting him down for a long time. One of the best cyclists in the world, fresh off his World Championships ITT victory up here in Andorra at Pickmire. Remco Evenepoel, how you going? How you feeling? Short recovery, not much partying after the World Champs win. Straight up to altitude.
Yeah, exactly. Just a small celebration with the national team. Flew home the day after, and then a dinner celebration with the closest family. I mean, the family of my wife and my parents, of course. And then quite late in bed, 2 in the night, and then 6:30 in the morning, anti-doping control. So super 2 short nights actually. Yeah.
Damn. And then straight up to here, to altitude, preparing the Vuelta. But back to that World Champs. Let's draw a bow around that, fresh off that. First of all, you could have just bought the Highland cow. You realize you didn't have to go do a 1 hour full ass effort. I got one at home, mate. You didn't need to.
Yeah.
But is it a different one, the cow, for the winner?
You got a medal around the door.
I think everybody that's on the podium in the cycling event, I mean, it was only cycling events, so they got the cow, but I think you could see the difference in the medals. There was the golden, silver, and bronze medal around the neck.
So your cow is different. All right.
So your cow doesn't have a medal.
Wow, I just bought it, but I didn't want to go to Glasgow, obviously.
I didn't have to buy it,
Yeah, true.
Just to dig deep for it, but that's
Save the money.
Yeah.
When you saw the course, when you first reconned it in real life, did you think, this is not hard enough? Or did you think, actually, I can beat Ghana and the big boys on this sort of course?
I had a bit of a double feeling. First of all, the wind was quite depending because we had tailwind to come back, but then there were the climbs, so it was not important at all actually. And then in the start was a lot of crosswinds. You probably saw it on the images. I was really flying around with my bike. I was just like getting smashed by the wind. So for me, the most important thing was to know my time at the first intermediate. I was expecting to be behind, but then 4 seconds was actually not a lot at all.
Okay.
For me. But of course, I believed I could win, but I think, like I said, I had my best numbers in a long TT, and that's what I needed to beat Ghana because he had the same. So I think it was a really high level TT from the top 3.
You hinted at it a little bit already, but what factors come into play when you're thinking of a pacing plan with your team towards a time trial, for example? If you look at the parkour and you say, okay, where should I ride fast? What fits best for me?
I think first part, you always try to go around your FTP a little bit under actually, so you don't go into the lactate too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the turning point, or after around 23, 25 kilometers, from there it started to be up and down more. And then we were like, okay, on the climbs you just go VO2. In the descent you try to recover. On the flats you go again a bit under FTP, so you still have that kick for the climbs. But yeah, I think I had one of those days where I could ride over my FTP on the flats, and I could really go much above my VO2 as well on the climbs. So
the final hill, how terrifying was that compared to how we viewed it on TV? Because on TV we just saw riders perishing after the line. But did it feel like a controlled effort still, or was it all out dying?
The problem is it's that late in the TT. I mean, it's the last kilometer, so you want to go all out, but in the end you cannot go much faster than the first climb you did.
Yeah.
So it's just the legs are really empty, and then the worst part was the cobbles, because the cobbles, there were like gaps of 5 centimeters in between the cobbles, so it was really like you were really thrown from stone to stone. And
Benji said they're not cobbles.
They're not Flemish enough.
He said they're not like Flemish cobbles.
To be honest, they really felt a bit like Quaremont cobbles. Yeah, it was pretty tough, and especially you come on that because the climb was actually around 900 meters, I think. And you had 400 meters of cobbles, but that first 500 meters were quite fast, smooth roads, with a bit of speed onto the first part of the climb. But then you were riding only 25, 28 kilometers an hour just before entering the goals, and then you go like under 20, and it was like, oh, it's going to be such a... And it was long because I think we almost did... I did 1 minute 12, 15, something like that for the last 500 meters. So that's quite long actually on when you go all out, especially.
Yeah. I'm gonna claim one more question. One thing that I'm curious personally about, and that's Ganna spoke after the time trial about his own performance. Oh, when it comes to Watts, I'm not sure if I can improve that much more, but when it comes to aero, maybe I can get into a slightly more aero position if I work on it a little more, stuff like that. And he especially spoke about your inward rolling shoulders. Is that something, or just in general, if you look at a time trial position, how much of that is your natural body physiology, and how much of that is, oh, I'm in an uncomfortable position that I got used to?
Well, it feels uncomfortable in the beginning of the season, especially because in the winter you don't really ride a TT bike that much. But to be honest, when I went on training camp in Val di Fassa, from the first day on, we started with like really specific core stability trainings, because we knew from the 55 minutes, I think I did 50 minutes in the position, which is super long. And after the race, actually, I really had a big cramp in my shoulder. So I was really completely cramped up because of, really sitting in that position. But just those core stability and flexibility movements in the shoulders, they really help a lot. So it's not really something that you have from nature, but you have to train it a bit and get used to it. And I think it's not easy at all, especially in TTs like this, where you really have to try and make yourself as small as possible. It's pretty horrible, actually.
So we've buttered you up with the positives from Worlds. I reckon you did over 400 watts for the TT, 410 maybe, around there is my guesstimate. What happened in the road race though? Because your physiology, your shape is really good. 1 hour, you've done those numbers, you're flying. What went wrong for you in the road race? How was that different to Leuven? Because you've won on flat circuits, you won Belgian champs, national champs was a flat circuit. What went wrong for you in the road race the week before?
Well, I think it was pretty clear the fight to go into the circuit was really crazy. In the end, I turned into the circuit at around position 40, where I felt comfortable, to be honest. But after 2 laps, I quickly realized when I came out of the corner, for example, the part where Mathieu attacked, you have like that right-left, you go super fast down, and then you went into that park where it was a bit of kind of gravel even.
Yeah.
When even position 40, 45, something like that, which normally you think that's perfect place to save energy.
And this is 8 laps to go.
Yeah, like 7 laps to go, where the Danish team just went full. There was I took the left-hand turn, and I saw the guys of Denmark already taking the right turn almost.
Jesus.
And it's like 500 meters further, so if it was always like at least 2 meters in between every rider.
Yeah.
So it's almost, the bunch was almost going to be, if there were the 200 riders here, the bunch could be like more than 2 kilometers long, like really completely stretched out. And I think there in the first 2-3 laps, I really lost some energy with sitting in that 40th position.
Okay.
And then when the group went smaller and smaller, I started to feel better and better because, everybody was getting a bit more tired. Things were getting less explosive. And then I think it was just the following up of sprinting to the top, because every time we went up on the part where Mathieu attacked in the end, when I looked at my power meter, I was always above 650, and I was thinking I cannot do this for 3 laps more because I'm just not that type of rider.
Yeah, right.
And after when I spoke with Wout and also with Mathieu on text, they were always pushing around 800-900 all the time on those climbs. It was actually pretty crazy. And I think before the race, they were speaking about the cyclocross guys will have a big advantage. And everybody was saying, yeah, but it's a 6-hour race. It will be harder than that. But in the end, I think they really had an advantage with all those just
100%.
1 minute, not even 1 minute, just full.
And 50 corners per lap.
Yeah, exactly. It was, to be honest, also within the Belgian team, we were really speaking about it, and it was like, okay, there were a bit too many corners at a certain point of the course.
Yeah.
Especially the part after that park I was talking about. You went down on the cobbles.
Yeah.
You went super fast, right, left, up, right, down. That it was crazy, and they could just have gone straight on a big road to the boxes where the feed zone was. So at a certain point in the course, it was a bit too much, but I think it was a spectacle to watch, probably. So
yeah, it certainly was. And as a Belgian at heart, I enjoyed the race a lot. You guys were active, and I felt like there was teamwork going on. The rolling attacks in certain spaces. Was that a planned thing, or was that a consequence of you, for example, saying to the team, okay, this is never going to happen for me anymore. I'm going to try and do something so that Van Aert can maybe benefit from it?
To be honest, at that point, the race had been very hard, actually, because the Danish team did 3 laps full. Then there was a bit of slowing down, and then again every lap faster and faster again. So I think at that point we were only 20 guys left, and I was thinking, okay, if we can go with a group of 3-4 guys with strong riders, Wout is behind, we take a 30-40 second advantage. He can always jump across, and then we're in an attacking position, winning position actually, because I had a feeling that in the first laps Mathieu was really looking at Wout to always sitting in the wheel.
Well, he never marked you. Only Poggy.
Yeah, Poggy and Mats Pedersen also.
Yeah.
Those two were really marking me because they knew I was going to try early. And then at a certain point, Tish Benoit came to me and he asked, how do you feel? You still have to try something? I said, it's not going to work. It's better that I do something for Wout or for you guys. And then it started to rain. Narvaez had the crash, group split in 2, and we never came back. So we were actually, I was already struggling at that point. But at that point, we were still 8-9 guys together with 4 Belgians. Narvaez crashed, me and Stuyven were behind, and then in the front was Tish, Tadej, Mathieu, and Wout, I think, and Mats and Pedersen. And Bettiol was even still a bit ahead. But at that point, my race was completely over because we never came back, and at that point, it was only marking the moves from behind from Kung, Schmidt. They always tried to jump across, and then Jasper and myself, we jumped on the wheel and tried to block it. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite course.
But anyway, after the World Championship, I don't think you can complain with winning the ITT. I think you'll be happy after after that. But we've spoken about the World Championships, the road race, the ITT this year. But let's go back in time for a bit. Let's go back in history. Belgians will know, and in-depth cycling fans will also know that you've got a football history. Just like myself, I played one day for Cercle Bruges when they were still a primary division team. And after that one training, I never heard back from them.
Good.
And then it clearly went backwards when it comes to my fitness. But anyway, back to you. Your history on the PSV, all those football teams. Your question was basically...
Well, I don't know. I'm not Belgian, so I wasn't following all the sports articles back in the day. So like, what... Were you cycling always? Because the narrative is, he first picked up a bike when he was 17 or something. It's like, no.
No. Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, exactly. So like, were you playing football more seriously as like, this is my sport, and then cycling for a bit of fitness? What age was that? And what age was the transition to actually training more cycling seriously?
Well, actually, my dad in the past had a professional cycling career. Not too long, because he had some heart problems in the end. He had to stop the career. But he was a very good under-23 rider, and also he won some nice races in the pros.
Wallonie.
Yeah, exactly. And that time was a very big race, actually, because it was after the Vuelta. So a lot of guys from the Vuelta came back, did the race, and but in the end, after I think he went over the limit in that race, and then the year after we had problems. So, but no, I think. I've always done a bit of mountain biking, but not really mountain biking like you see it in professional racing, but in the summer holidays, because we always got a schedule from Anderlecht, from the football team, to stay a bit in shape. You had like 2 weeks off, and then a bit of running, fitness, gym, and I always wanted to adapt a bit of mountain biking just to do something else. So I think that's where in that time of my life, it was more enjoying the mountain bike in off season and really football with the goal I want to become professional.
Right.
Then at the age of 15, I broke my left hip. It was a grow. I mean, how you say it, a growing injury.
Yeah.
Like the bones were growing, but the muscles were not following at that time. And I think there was just a piece of bone that got taken off.
A bone spur or something.
Yeah. I don't actually know the word in English. So yeah, I broke my 2 hips. Nice achievement, no?
Congratulations on breaking your 2 hips.
Yeah, thank you.
How do you rate your results you have versus breaking your 2 hips? What would you prefer to do again?
Well,
which one?
The results is okay, no, I think.
Yeah.
But then in the end, the first couple of weeks, starting the rehab, I couldn't run. So I had to ride a bike, more indoors than outdoors, and that's where more and more I got interested by cycling. But to be honest, I always followed cycling: Tour de France, Tour of Flanders, Roubaix.
Right.
Those races in Belgium, you just cannot miss them.
Yeah.
Especially with my father having a cycling past. So and then having the rehab, came back on level, and a certain moment. I was captain of the national team and of my team. Then they put me on the bench, and I started to ask myself questions: is it worth it to continue stuff like that? Then in the end, I was not even on the bench anymore, but just not in the 15 players that could go to the game. And then I was really starting to hate the sport. Actually, I gave it another try in Mechelen, which is also a first division team in Belgium. And then at a certain moment on Sunday, I always had like running trainings, and I always went with my mountain bike to the forest where I did the running. And I was standing in front of the forest, ready to push off the Garmin to start the run. And then I just said, okay, look, or you just do your training and you go for it, or you take your bike, you go back home, and you change sports and your life and everything actually.
Really? And what is that? 15?
That was at the age of 17. So 17. It's already 2 years further. So it was actually 1 year of like playing a game, being on the bench, not even in the selection.
Being sad.
Again, and so it was 1 year really up and down.
Okay.
Came also out in my school results actually, because to be honest, I was a very good student. I always had good notes, but that year was really, I was just trash at school, I was a lot of under the 50% and just completely fucked things up actually, and then completely lost my mind actually almost.
What direction would that have gone if sports was the thing? As in, would you have become a Flemish farmer or
in around Brussels? You're not really a farmer. From Brussels to no. So I wanted to become actually a physio. So I've always wanted to do something with sports.
Right.
If I could not become professional, it was or cycling podcast, something like this. So, but no, I think was maybe the best choice of my life to change sports at that moment.
Okay,
I think so.
But so I think I have a little bit of a cycling past, but not really like when you're 14, 15, you race, never like that.
But is it that different? Because like, is it really that different to a lot of the guys? Because there are guys who like Tom Dumoulin are racing, 12 years old or whatever, but like Ben O'Connor I'm friends with, he was a runner. Then started, but no one's like, oh, Ben O'Connor, he didn't learn to ride a bike or something. I feel like what you're describing is pretty normal. And then when you're 17, is that you're like mountain bike goes in the garage, then you're getting a road bike, power meter, training like straight away? You're like, this is my sport now? That transitions like that?
No, first I stole the bike of my dad. So way too big. So I have a 52 frame and he had a 54. But at that time, I think he had I shouldn't say, but it was a Pinarello. But it was it's different sizes, I think.
Yeah, like a 56 real top too.
Yeah, it's like really, really strange sizes comparing to the specialized ones. So I took his bike. It was just like a small computer on it with time and kilometers, so nothing special. So just rode like 2.5 hours. I think on my first proper ride, I had like 33 average or something on training, so which was pretty crazy actually, because it was the first time I rode outside. I had no tires with me, no bidons, just took the bike, went out. Yeah, I had my phone, of course. But to be honest, I was not, because my parents didn't know I wanted to change into cycling. And my running coach, the physical coach, my private coach, he knew, and he trained my dad in the past.
Right.
So there was a bit of a thing going on. I want to keep it secret for a while. But then he told me, look, if you want to change, you have to tell it this week, and we have to change as fast as possible.
Okay.
And that's what my dad also said. So my first race was the 2nd of April, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And I told it the weekend before. So my first race was the weekend of the Ronde van Vlaanderen, actually.
So the switch to cycling, as in actually starting to ride races, how easy was that to find a team to ride races instantly at that level?
I did my first race in the black jersey individual rider.
Yeah.
Just finished the race in the bunch, which was already quite a success.
Yeah.
Then a few days later, we had the Time Trial Championship of Vlaams Brabant. So with the local riders. But we had Arne Marit, which was at that time one of the best juniors from Belgium. Yeah, he's pro now. And a few others, I think. I think Ilan was not at the race at that time, Van Wilder.
Yeah.
But I came 10th in my first time trial with a normal bike, with just a small, setup bars, but a normal road handlebar. So I became 10th, I think around 48, 50 seconds from Arne. So was quite a big achievement. And then there was the famous Patrick Verschuren. I don't know if you know. You should.
I know Patrick Verschuren.
He was also professional at Lotto.
Okay.
And he had a junior team at that time, Forte. And he said, "Look, you are quite talented. We want you in the team." And for me, it was already like going into Quickstep, you know, like wow.
Yeah, did it feel the same emotionally?
Actually, yeah, because at that time Forte had really good riders. For example, Olaf Koy rode there. Wessel Krul, he's riding for Human Power Health.
Yeah, he is.
And there were still a few others. Danny van der Tuuk from Kern Pharma, I think.
I think so. Didn't he ride for Matic at some point? Or?
Yeah, but he went to Kern now. So actually very good riders, one of the best junior teams at that time. So for me, it was already something like, okay, this is maybe a first step to something unachievable, you know?
Yeah. And you're already like mentally, I want to be a professional cyclist. Already mentally, that's like my goal. And then once you're on that junior team, are you getting more guidance and the professionalism of your training goes up at that point?
To be honest, in 17, it was not as crazy as it is now. No power meters, just riding on the heart rate, on the feeling. So it was not like it was now. So I'm actually really surprised because I spoke with the two junior guys that did the TT as well last week. And the guys were like with the 5611. And I was like, oh, wait, you can ride a 5611? So I was not even aware of the gear changes for the juniors. And also the programs they have using bicarbonate, everything, you know, for the TTs. And I was like, I've never done that until my first year as a professional. So it was everything was super low key, super basic, nothing special. And I think that's also something why I'm still improving a lot now in the professional ranks, because in the junior times I was doing everything just on the feeling and super low key actually.
When it comes to those junior years, at what point during those years, because like you were winning a lot, let's be honest about it. You were
my second year,
you were cleaning some of the races, most of the races in that second year.
Oh, you won in your first year?
Yeah.
I won seven races.
More than a lot of riders.
Yeah, it was quite good because I started in April, so it was quite a short season.
Exactly.
Went to the Worlds in my first year.
Yeah.
So it was pretty special actually. And my first big race where they actually kind of discovered me was in Basque Country. I don't remember the name of the race, but Machin was there, who is now working in UAE. He was there and then gave my name to the Quickstep team.
Oh, because he was the scout for Quickstep
at that time he was scout for Quickstep,
And he scouted Almeida to Quickstep as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And Asgreen, wasn't he also in that
same period? He was professional the year before me, but we were stagiaire at the same point. And I still was going to do my second year junior then. And he became professional in 18, I think. Yeah. 18.
Jesus, time flies. That feels like yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's interesting seeing like how that person at that moment on that team, how now his selections or how he influenced what's happening now in teams 5 years later. It's just, it's interesting knowing like, oh, he was there. That's why that rider's there.
Yeah, exactly. But he has a lot of knowledge. He's a really smart guy.
Were there multiple teams, World Tour teams that you heard of interest from, or was it Machin first and then you were already talking to Quickstep already, or what was the chronology of that?
Yeah, first, now it's Soudal Quickstep, but at that time was Quickstep Floors, just Quickstep Floors. They were the first ones to come. They gave me the bike. Actually, no, I have to say, I was supposed to go to Axion. The team of Axel. Yeah, exactly. So, but then after winning the Europeans with 10 minutes, I don't know what it was. Then it became actually quite crazy. And then Quickstep said, look, you come straight to us, because then there was Team Sky at the time pulling on the arm, Mitchelton Scott back then. So those three teams were really pulling. But then, there was a bit of I'm not going to say fight, but, a bit of argument with the Axion team because they were really...
Oh, they thought you'd do the next year.
Yeah, I was going to go 1 year under 23 with them and then go to the pro ranks. But like after that, European and World Championship, things were clear that I had to go straight to the pros, which was a big risk.
Yeah.
Of course, after only racing 1 year and,
that wasn't normal
and
then.
5 months.
Now it's normal now.
Now it's normal, but it still sometimes I feel like some guys come too early.
Oh, for sure.
And it's a bit... Sometimes it's going a bit in the wrong way, but of course, I'm the bad example of it because I feel like, a lot of people say to me, it's after you, everything changed in the youth ranks. Everybody wants to become pro as soon as possible. A bit more strict and everything. And
I don't think so. I think
That's
guys
what
are just better younger because
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
using
yeah.
power meters,
Yeah.
bicarbonate.
Yeah,
Like you
that's what
said,
I
they're
mean.
just better
Yeah.
now.
That's what I mean. Like everything that the pros did back then
Yeah.
is now starting already in the enabling, how you say it.
Oh, Jesus
It's
Christ.
the category under the juniors.
Cadets or something.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the under 17s. That's
I didn't
it.
know what
Already
that
starts
meant
there.
in
Actually,
English.
they have power meters. They train 4 or 5 hours. It's impressive.
How they train 4 or 5 hours with school? How long is the school day in Belgium? My school day was 8:30 to 5:30.
But nowadays they can have like these special
sports school like Vingegaard went
agreements
to.
where
Yeah.
they can go when they skip 3 hours of class to do their trainings. And
Are you jealous of those days?
But to be honest, because I skipped my last year of school
Yeah.
because I was getting
Oh, okay.
professional.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't finish my high school.
Okay.
So because I was getting professional,
Worth it
yeah.
in hindsight.
But in the end, I asked to the school that I was back then, can we make an arrangement that I just skip, I don't know, that we, for example, gym. I skip the gym classes.
Yeah.
Because I was doing...
I'm doing some cardio already.
yeah, but that's it. No, like I asked them, I did science languages. So
Okay.
I said, just let me do the science and the languages. Just these classes.
Yeah.
And not mathematics and history, stuff like that. I said it's not where my goal is.
Yeah.
So I can train in those hours and do
Yeah.
the school like my main classes.
Yeah.
I will finish them and do my best and try to.
You were like,
But they didn't want to. So then
Really?
yeah, no, they didn't want to.
you were
They-
like, I'll skip maths. I already know what per kilo I know.
Yeah, you just got to
Exactly.
divide weight by or
Yeah,
power by the
yeah, yeah.
weight. That's all you need.
exactly.
But like, before we round off juniors, I want to know the world champs. So, were you signed with Quickstep? You said there was a big fight. Was that before the world champs?
The junior one.
I
The Junior World
signed
Champs.
during the Tour de France. I went to watch a stage.
Okay.
I think the stage where Gilbert crashed in the ravine.
Okay. This is 2018.
Yeah, 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I won the race 1 week before.
Okay.
And then Patrick said, you come to the tour.
Yeah.
I went in Vive le Vélo in the TV show
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Belgium. And then I signed the contract.
Only
there,
the
yeah.
real men go to Vive Velo, right?
Well, my Dutch is getting there. My Duolingo Dutch is
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
there. But I know Wielerkerkers and that's about it. But what was the goatee celebration? You win worlds, you come back from the mechanical. That was one of my first viral videos
yeah, yeah,
on my
yeah.
channel was you doing it, and then you did the goatee.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that? What did that mean?
One of my best friends actually told me, look, if you win, just do it. And I know it's for me. And then I just did it. It was nothing special. It was just like a deal.
Okay.
And a bit of a follow up to that, we've seen a few celebrations in the history of Remco Evenepoel, as in the shoulder the clean
Yeah.
thing. And
That's Michael Jackson.
yeah, did you stop that because of the controversy?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to be honest. I think it's something that I took with me from the football history, I think, because there, if you score a goal, the celebration can be like a
Suey,
party.
yeah, you can punch the
Yeah,
flag,
yeah,
do
like-
whatever, yeah.
You do whatever. you kick the corner flag
Yeah.
or whatever. You can even start
Tim
to
Cahill.
dance. Yeah. Exactly. So I think I took it a bit with me,
Okay.
but I quickly realized it was not really loved in the cycling world, or there
It's
was
a shame.
because I think if you win a race, you deserve to celebrate it in the way that you want.
Yeah.
And like the shoulder wiping thing was nothing special. It was just because I'm a big Michael Jackson fan,
Right.
and also because it was the lockdown, was the first race again after the lockdown, and I just said to Umi, look, if I win, I'm gonna do the I don't know which song it was again.
Oh,
Well, it's one of the songs where he dances in.
well, that's a lot of them.
Exactly, but it's a specific dance where he does this, and then
I don't know which song it is. But one thing, you've spoken about the junior celebration, it was a deal. Let's make a deal now. If you win a Vuelta stage, you gotta celebrate. You have to.
Oh, he'll win the TT.
Well, you can't celebrate the TT
30
yet.
seconds. Oh, true, yeah.
you know,
Hey,
you
can
know,
you
actually,
celebrate?
you
Dude,
know
if
what
you
I-
do that,
what
you
I-
get so much criticism. If you
Yeah.
if you lose 2 seconds celebrating the TT.
Yeah, but last week I checked the time board and I saw that it was still green, so I knew I was gonna win. So I actually, I wanted to do like a fist or,
yeah.
but I just realized I shouldn't do it. It's a TT. You have to go full till the end.
Yeah.
But at that point, also I wasn't the last one. For example, if it would be next year and I start as last and I know
Really?
that I'm, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds ahead at the finish line, then you can
I think
celebrate.
Dennis celebrated in Harrogate.
Cancellara also did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dennis also did, yeah.
Yeah.
But after the finish line. But
Oh,
he
was it?
started last, no?
Yeah, I think he won
Yeah.
back to back, no? Or no,
Uh,
Dumoulin won in Bergen.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Dumoulin didn't participate, so I
Okay.
think that's why Dennis And with Roglic, the fight that Roglic overtook him on the finish line.
Yeah.
Because that moment I was in the hot seat and I was going as fast as possible to the hot seat to see the final of Dennis, and then I was, oh fuck, 1 minute something.
Man,
that was crazy.
That was a hard course. That course probably would suit you more now than the recent one in
Sterling.
Yeah,
it did. Because if I see the powers now, it was almost the same time, a bit longer, but much harder. Okay. I think it's a bit comparable with next year, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But it was good to be second as a Neo-Pro, no?
Yeah, better, because everyone was like, oh, Tarling. And I actually picked Tarling to win the TT in Sterling, But he didn't, but he still did pretty well.
That was still super impressive.
I was like, oh, that must be the first teenager. And then I realized, no, you actually came second in 2019.
Yeah.
But you mentioned U23, people making mistakes, maybe going too early. Do you think if Quickstep had the dev team they had now, you would have done the year at U23 at Quickstep instead of going straight, or maybe even 6 months? Because didn't
you can go into like 1st of August, no?
Yeah, didn't Brooks or someone do 6 months? Would you think you might have done that?
Ayuso also switched.
Yeah, Ayuso did 6 months.
But if I have to look at my first year as a pro, I had quite some crashes, not being really used to riding the bunch. At that time, or now, I would say, I should have done 1 year in the under 23 ranks and then go over, because probably then I would still improve a bit in the under 23s. But I think, to say it today doesn't make much sense anymore.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest, I think maybe at that time for 2019 and 2020 would have been better to do 1 year of the under 23s.
Or even 6 months, because let's be honest.
But then in the end, I won San Sebastian.
Yeah, but you could have done
so
San Sebastian. If you did 6 months, it's all it's after August.
Then maybe,
This is hindsight talk, though. So
well, chance. I got a time machine.
I reckon in hindsight,
then maybe if I would do half a year, that would be a better option.
Belgium tour, though.
Yeah, but at that time it was a big thing. But to be honest, nowadays it's doesn't make sense anymore. It's maybe to win it another time later in the career, but with the tour and all that stuff in races like this, you don't want to risk it too much anymore. So.
Were there people, like for example, the Belgian Belgium tour? That was a pretty impressive victory in my opinion. Arguably, with San Sebastian, you anticipated before the climb. The rest's probably, they knew who Remco Evenepoel was, because it's a pretty big talent in cycling at that point. But they might have risked waiting a little bit and so forth. You reckon people, I don't know, were there still people doubting you after San Sebastian?
Probably, yeah. Probably still today, no? I don't know. It's I think at that point it made sense, because it was a surprise, and maybe it was by accident that I won San Sebastian. Kind of. So for me it was understandable. There was still a bit of doubts, but I felt like when I became second on the Worlds in the TT, that there a lot of doubters went away, because a TT, it doesn't lie. It's the strongest wins. Okay, you can have bad luck with like Victor had that day. He crashed. Also, Lampi crashed.
True.
But still, I think in a long TT like that, the result never lies. I think after that, second place was a much less, a lot less of doubters. But still, then after the Giro 21, stuff like that, it came back up. But I think that was a bit of, because of my quick rise and the hype and everything around. But I think nowadays I deal quite well with it and just stay calm.
I think so. And like there was that Lombardia crash, of course, a pretty big event in your career so far, which led up to that Giro 2021. You were mentioning, was that a difficult period mentally? How did you manage that recovery towards that Giro? Because I vaguely recall there being postponements of your return because you were supposed to ride a race earlier before the Giro, and then it disappeared. And how did you manage that recovery, and what support did you have and so forth?
To be honest, the recovery itself, when we don't speak about the bike, went quite well. Everything was quite smooth. Big support from my family, especially because my parents were working at the time, because it was September. I think. Yeah, when I was it was COVID, the end of August, and then September, that I was in my hospital bed at home. So I think I did like 10 days in the hospital, Italy, Belgium.
Okay.
Then I could go home, but still had to do like 4 or 5 weeks in the bed. So in September, my parents were working, and Umi had exams, so she was with me at home. It was like a big big struggle also for her because she wanted to take care of me, but she had to study. And I mean, it's gonna be a big thing I'm gonna say now, but I couldn't go to the big toilet myself.
Yeah.
So I always had to ask to help me because I couldn't sit on the toilet with the bone that was broken because otherwise it would completely stretch out again.
Right.
So stuff like that, and at that time it all looks normal, but then when everything has been healed up again and you think about it, it's like, well, it was actually a brutal period. How did we went through it so smooth? So yeah, I had a big support to my parents and to me, of course. Also the team, every week there was somebody coming to check. Also Bramati came from Italy to Belgium just to say hello, to see how I was. So that was all pretty special. And then there was the rehab with all the special exercises and stuff like that to build the muscle again and just to become a normal human again, because I had to learn walking again. And so of riding the bike, there was still no talks about, because we never knew how I was gonna ride a bike.
Did you think your career could be done, or at least that you might never come back to on the trajectory you were, like, were there moments where you thought, I'm not going to get back to that second at worlds level again?
Yeah, of course, because the bone that I broke is the bone that you sit on the whole day. So if there was a problem, or like a friction problem, or just if there was too much bone around after the fracture, you could have a problem on the bike and sit completely blocked in the back, or completely not straight on your bike, whatever. So there were a lot of doubts, but I think when I restarted riding the bike, it was around December probably.
Okay.
So I did a training camp, but I was in a rush to be on a training camp with the team.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ride with the guys again to show that I was back on level. First training with the team, just forced myself completely. The fracture went open again. A little. I mean, not like this, but like 1 millimeter. But a millimeter is enough. So complete setback again. 8 weeks off the bike, only in the swimming pool. But I think we just went too fast with the gym exercises, because Ivan van Mol is the specialist for the fractures in the team, and he said, like, you should have started 1 month in the swimming pool, because the water lifts your weight up, and then you can move the bones and the muscles without putting too much pressure on your body. And we actually started to do that in December, January. So it was way too late. It was almost half a year after the crash.
And personally, did that crash also, we spoke about the cycling, the rehab and so forth, but did that also give you like a new perspective on life itself, you reckon?
For sure, yeah. If you're, I'm not going to say I was close to that like Fabio, for example, but it was also quite close. Then you realize there are some more important things than riding the bike. The smaller things, going to the cinema or to the movies with your family, with the brothers and sisters of
this podcast.
Have you seen Barbie and Oppenheimer?
Not yet.
Not
really. What do you think is going to be better,
Barbie or Oppenheimer? I suppose Oppenheimer. No, or not.
I've only seen Barbie. My wife made me go. It's actually
You've
pretty good. I quite like. We saw
both.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went in Andorra.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see it actually at the cinema.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh nice. There we go. There.
I've seen both. I was forced to watch Barbie with a pink shirt on, which like half the movie theater had pink shirts on.
With your cat or
no. For context, we've got a new kitten, and the kitten is called Remco because my wife decided to call the kitten Remco. So
nice.
That's a thing now.
What an honor.
We'll have to make you meet the cat at some point.
Right.
I don't know how, but we'll make it work.
You'll be in Barcelona.
Yeah, but I don't think we can fly with the 9-month-old,
come with the car, no.
9-week-old kitten yet.
Just come with a car.
From the UK.
From the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't actually enter the UK yet, but that's a whole other story.
So which movie was the best? I feel he's going to say Barbie.
I think Oppenheimer was the best.
Okay.
I don't think I was as critical about Barbie as other people.
But it's like kind of Barbie in real life. No, it's not like Barbie with the...
No, it's Barbie in real life. It's an adult film. It's not for children, really.
Well, kids can see it.
They can see it, but it's got more of a story in it that kids won't understand.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah, Margot Robbie from the Gold Coast.
Okay. That's a story.
Barbie's the best. All right. Haven't seen Oppenheimer yet.
It's a good movie, Oppenheimer, but very long.
You compare now your preparation to the Vuelta, what you're doing, how prepared you're going to be, and you compare how you were 1 week, 10 days before that Giro 21. how different does it feel
today? You mean?
Yeah, or like your preparation for the Vuelta last year where you won. How underprepared now that you know how you need to prepare to win? How underprepared do you think you were for that Giro 21? No, because he rushed back and
I only had 5 weeks of training.
Yeah.
And I had some good numbers on the 15-minute test.
Okay.
So we thought like, okay, shape is there, but the baseline was not there, you know. And to be honest, we should have never started the Giro at that time. Because with 5 weeks of training, you don't even prepare a season with that. You prepare a season with, let's say, 6 weeks of, no, not even.
You prepare San Juan with that.
Exactly. Exactly.
He prepares for San Juan.
Yeah, I mean, you prepare to race, no? Like in 6 weeks, you're kind of ready to do like the boomerang attack and then fly back completely.
Dude, no one can touch Lopez on Colorado.
No, exactly. He was flying. He was flying. Oh. But but I mean, 5 weeks. If I see, I've been preparing the Vuelta last year since the winter. Actually, I mean, you first have like that Liège period, but then you go from the first day after Liège. You say, okay, we have to lose those 2 kilos now to go into the Vuelta, stuff like that. So it's a complete different thing. And yeah, like I said, the Giro would have been possible if I didn't have all those setbacks. But those setbacks didn't have to be there if we did a normal and calm rehab and if we took our time just to grow tranquilo, you know, nothing Spanish. Huh?
Yeah. We'll get to some Spanish people coming in later.
Okay. That's terrifying.
So yeah, I think it was the worst decision that we have ever made to start a Giro at that time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was good for 10 days, but then you could see.
Yeah, you're in white.
But it's a bit. Maybe it's not up to me to say, but if you see the prep of Poggi of this year's tour, he had the crash, he couldn't ride a bike outside quite a long time. Jonas just probably had a perfect preparation.
Yeah.
You always will see it in the third week of a Grand Tour. So that's a bit.
And on the stages with the highest kilojoules.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where your base aerobic efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Giro always rains. At that time, I was like super skinny, but
you looked.
It was unnatural because I could have eaten what I wanted at that time. I just didn't gain the weight. I was close to 60 kilos, so my body was still not completely recovered from.
And you're still healing, so you need more calories for that.
Yeah, exactly. So it just wasn't a good decision, but probably some pressure from the organization and stuff like that. So
your face when the Stage Bernal won, Stage 9, Rocca del Cambio, in the rain and the gravel finish.
Yeah,
in the rain, your face looked.
Yeah, completely. I know.
Yeah,
it's true. Even the stage where I almost won, where Gino still won.
Yeah.
Stage 6.
6, yeah.
That there was one of the days that I said to the team, I should have gone for it, try to win the stage at least. But then I said, no, think about the GC, you know. And so at that time, should have just go for the stages, try to take whatever I could take.
Yeah.
I could have done the Giro, but just without any pressure, just to do 3 weeks, take it as a training camp.
Yeah.
Giro
training camp.
Yeah, rough training camp. But without stress, just go in the gruppetto like I did stage 15.
What Peacock did in the tour last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so just get dropped, take 30 minutes, don't stress about it. Yeah. I think that would have been a big positive thing for my for the improvement during the season. But
during that time, during that Giro, there was the co-leadership with Joao Almeida, for example, and like, I'm completely unaware of there being drama in the team or anything between you two, but on social media, between the Belgian fans and the Portuguese fans, complete war.
Yeah.
Do you notice that? How online are you when you're in a Grand Tour?
Actually not. So it's quite a surprise to hear it now.
20 years later.
You did not know?
I mean,
dude.
No, I know there were like...
It kicked off.
Yeah, because probably, when, especially the gravel stage where Joao had to wait for me, I said in the radio, Joao, go for yourself, do your thing. Because I felt like if somebody helps me or not, it's not going to work at all. But from the car, they said, Joao, you have to wait to bring me back. So at that time, I already knew like my shape is taking off. I had a super bad rest day actually. So probably from all the trainings I did, just going straight to the Giro, then having those 9 days, and then just having a rest day completely, fucked that day actually, because I was really on a bad level that day.
Because there was the rest day after stage 3 was there? Or
No,
the gravel
no.
was stage 10.
No, yeah. Gravel was the day after the first rest day.
Yeah.
No, it was stage 11 because we did 10 stages that year. We started on Friday with the TT and we had 10 stages straight. Rest day on Monday and then but we started on Friday, or we had rest day on Tuesday, and then the last week was only 5 days. I mean, only 5 days of 7,000 meters of climbing. But so to be honest, between Joao and myself, we always understood each other very well. We were I'm not gonna say friends, but we were good teammates.
Yeah.
Till now, we always speak with each other, never have any problems. So it was a bit more like the team orders, when Joao dropped 5 minutes on that stage 4. And I was still up there, top 10, being able to be up there with the big guys. They decided that Joao had to work for me, but I think it was a bad decision because in the end, if you see how he, I think he finished fourth
or fifth, yeah. But in the mountains in the third week, he was better than that.
Yeah,
like Dina D'Ampezzo, he was really
exactly.
good.
The stage I crashed, for example, in Sega de Ala, where Dan Martin won.
Yeah.
That day, we were completely convinced I was going to work for him. I dropped super early on that long climb.
Yeah.
But I felt like they went super fast in the first 5 minutes. I was always like 1 minute behind, and then I came back on top. And then there was a crash with the Nibali and the team that they went out of the corner, and still my bit of stress in the descents at that moment.
Okay.
But I think that day, because I was getting a bit better again, if that day I could help him on the final climb, for sure he would have won the stage. And that was the plan. But I think with all the circumstances and stuff around going on, things had another image than it actually was.
So you're not online during a Grand Tour? You're not on Twitter? You're not on Instagram seeing people's opinions? Or you can shield your mind from it even if you see it?
Yeah, I can. I'm never on Twitter, so that's, I think, a good thing.
Since Not What Matter?
Yeah, it's possible, actually.
Bring it back, come on. It was so good.
We're really sad on Twitter since you left.
Yeah? Now it's super commercial, no?
Yeah, you got to come back on Twitter. Yeah.
No, because I don't want to have those things like Patrick also had, having an idea. I have to put it down, and then 1 minute.
I just do what I do. I just fire it off, close the app. And then in real life, it doesn't exist.
It's not that easy. In Belgium, it's not that easy, actually.
I think I even called you out on that tweet that day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But in a nice way, respectful.
So good.
It was a good tweet. I like the honest reactions. And in cycling, that's not necessarily accepted as much as you see it in like a football or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or NBA.
It's something that I have some difficulties with sometimes, because in interviews I always say
your opinion,
what I have on my tongue. I don't know if you say it like this in English.
Just say it.
Yeah. What's on the tip of your tongue?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I just say what I feel I have to say, and sometimes I feel like it's a bit they don't want to accept it, or it's because it's me, or I don't know. Sometimes it's quite hard to process all of that. But
well, you got labeled as arrogant a lot. People said,
that's what I mean.
You can't shake that label.
Yeah.
It's hard to shake it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and it's a bit difficult because I think I'm not arrogant at all, especially behind the scenes with the guys in the bus or whatever, the family stuff like that. But just in an interview, if they ask me a question, I will just give an honest answer and not say like, oh, we'll see, blah, blah. You see things like that. Just say I'm in good shape. I'm here to try and win, stuff like that. I'm just not good enough. Or like with the Worlds, like the road race, I just said, look, it wasn't my course. I tried, but it just wasn't today. You just have to be honest, and I think that's the best way to go through life and the career, in my opinion.
Well,
It's getting emotional, no?
Well, I'll speak a little bit on your behalf here, because it kind of happened a few weeks ago. I think someone asked you about your opinion on the Tour de France, Jonas and Poggi, and it kind of then the headlines got taken from that were like Remco Evenepoel thinks he can beat Jonas and Pogacar. But I'll just give a reality check to everybody. Like, if you don't think you can win the Tour de France,
you won't.
Don't fucking turn up.
No.
Like all the like top athletes, you have to do, even if it's kind of unrealistic, you have to do positive visualization. Because if you don't do that, you think, they're too good. Who am I to attack them? Then don't turn up. So that's what all the athletes are thinking.
Yeah, maybe it's also the good day to say, skip the Tour. It was worth it to win the TT in the Worlds, because that's why I skipped the Tour this year, to win the TT in the Worlds. And I think also, if you see my Tour de Suisse, I wasn't at my level that I should be. If I'm at my top level, I would probably win the race, with a big fight against Matthias and also Felix Gal and Ayuso, because the guys were actually flying.
Yeah.
Especially Gal and Skjell Mosen. They were really, really in super good shape. But I think at that moment I needed a race, the suffering in the race to go over the limit again and also learn how to ride defensive. Like if you feel like at that moment I feel like I don't have the legs to beat all those guys, to drop them.
Yeah.
Stay in the wheel, respond attacks, wait for the final sprint, become second. Things like this. It helped a lot actually.
About that behavior, about that realization that, okay, now I need to ride differently. How do you feel that has evolved throughout your career? For example, in the first year you arrived in World Tour, Baloise, Belgium Tour, and so forth, you kind of were just trying to force the race and see where it goes at moments that were much earlier than traditionally in cycling. Like, was it Coppa Bernocchi where you also did it at some point and end up winning that race?
We had 150 kilometers in the breakaway with 5 guys. The bunch never came back, and then I dropped them 40k to go. One with 3 minutes, the bunch 10 minutes, something like that. But I think in the first years it worked out because it was kind of new. But now every classic breaks open at 70k to go.
Yeah.
Not 2 guys, but like 10 guys, big group. 20 kilometers later, again, attack, 5 guys go off. So that's a bit how racing is now. And you can actually also say this from, for example, Kampenaars with his marginal gains in the past. Everybody does it now. So what he had in his advantage a few years ago is now just the baseline. It's just normal in cycling. I think it's also a bit with the race situations, early finals. It's normal now.
Well, look at Poggy's bike change over winter. His hoods, he changed everything, completely. Narrow handlebars.
He came closer to his handlebar as well. Like, you could really see it.
Huge
I was really surprised when I saw him riding, where was it? Ruta del Sol, I think?
Yeah.
You could really see immediately. He must have another position. It looks strange the first days, but looks like it's still working.
Yeah, must be benefiting. That's for sure. But going through your history a little bit more, Worlds 2020, 2021 versus 2022 versus 2023. Do you feel like your role had been a bit of a question mark in 2021, for example? There was a lot of drama in Belgian media around it. At some point, I'm like, oh, so much drama in Belgian media about it.
He got sold out.
Okay.
I'll say.
Yeah?
Yeah. You should have been co-leader.
Oh, I agree.
I had a good day. But, like the big thing that is when they asked, did you have legs to become world champion? That was like the famous question that they asked me.
We got it here, dude.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah, it's on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the question they asked me, no? Like in the TV show. It was. And then I just said yes, but it didn't make sense that day.
Yeah.
But they skipped the part of it didn't make sense.
Right, okay.
So I was, they just shut me down, actually. But I don't know. That day, Wout was in super good shape. He won almost all of his races at that time. He was super, super good. I think he deserved to be the leader at that time because I was going in ups and downs a lot. So we didn't know how my shape was going to be that day. But I think there were just a few mistakes during the race. But I think we learned from that race. And we took it to the year after and to this year. And we almost had 2
wins,
rainbow jerseys. So I think maybe it was a good thing that things went wrong that day. I mean, wrong. We were still 4th with Jasper.
Yeah.
But just, the situation and stuff like that weren't how they were supposed to be.
When it comes to the atmosphere in the team, that probably wasn't the best atmosphere in the team that year in 2021. But you feel like that has evolved to the point that now you understand each other?
I think it was actually also in 2021.
Yeah?
Yeah, because especially before the race. I mean, after the race, with all the fans, and we wanted to win the championship in our own country. Everybody was a bit down and thinking like, oh, we fuck it up in some way. But then the days before, everybody was super relaxed, super good atmosphere. The year after, exactly the same. This year, exactly the same. But it's more the race situation. I think we all understood it's better to have multiple cards in the race.
Yeah.
Especially in the World Championship.
Yeah.
In our country, especially because this year we had Wout, myself, and Philipsen. But then, you always have to try because like this also you can have multiple race situations where you can react or adapt things. So, but I think that year 21 really helped us to become a closer group. Also, the coach learned a lot probably. So, I think we're only going in a positive line.
And it's also like, even if you didn't have the legs to win, it's better for Wout to use you like you've tried to do in the middle laps in
this
Glasgow.
year.
Yeah, as to force Poggy to close. Like maybe, that did tire Poggy out trying to close you 2-3 times. So, and he has the sprint behind. So
exactly.
You fit actually quite well together, you and Wout.
Yeah, of course, because especially on those, I mean, a course like Glasgow, I think it's clear it was a course for Mathieu, Wout, and in my opinion, Pidcock.
His problem now, eh?
Yeah.
Well, he won XCO.
So I think I was a bit surprised that Wout was also attacking that much in the middle part of the race.
Yeah,
because he could probably have saved a bit more for the last laps. But of course, at that time, if I go, there's always big names following. So Wout, it was actually a perfect combination, attacking again. So the big names couldn't react, or were just too late to react.
Yeah.
But I think we just tried to empty the tank of all the others. But there was just one guy that his tank just didn't empty.
You crash and you still take 90 seconds, and you're too good. Like,
exactly. And he was super motivated, especially with what happened the year before.
Yeah.
And it was a course that was just perfect for him. So I think we have a deserved world champ this year.
2021 in the bin. 2022 enters the door in the house. We've got LBL victory. Pretty good.
Algarve.
Like it's not the most important Belgian monument.
Where I actually did also one of my best TTs in Algarve.
Yeah. Was that the one Lopez we got close in? I swear Lopez has gotten close in some random Algarve
he came
TT.
fourth maybe in 20,
That was, I don't know. No, that was the year
Ganner
before.
and Ineos normally do Algarve, no?
It was with Kung this year. That year was with Kung. I think it was Thomas. That was there in 2022. Yeah. There was a long TT, 32K.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
A bit like it was this year. Flat in the beginning, a small climb. I mean, one climb, technical downhill, flat run into the finish. Is the finish in Taveira where Jacobsen won already?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 times, this slightly uphill drag. But it was actually a good season.
Yeah, pretty good season. And I didn't even get to finish like the long list of achievements.
Go on.
Well, I won't name every single race, but
some drinks.
What else you do?
Belta?
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Pretty good race. Like, people are always going to be skeptical about, is that a real Grand Tour? Because it's not the Tour.
I think this year it is, no? This year it is. They even say it's a better field than the Tour de France, so everybody should come watch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty disappointed in Pogacar. Always says, Remco should have ridden. Didn't he say Remco should have ridden the Tour de France? If I was
as
Remco,
world
I
champion.
As
world champion. He said, as world champion, I would always do the Tour.
Now it's your turn. Now you have to say, if I was Pogacar, I would have ridden the Vuelta. Come on.
I think he's quite exhausted now from all. If you saw him after the races, I think it's it has been quite a big fight to go to the Tour. So I'll leave him alone. I'll give him his rest.
Which of those victories for you was the most validating? Because 2021 you came back. We already discussed the Giro at length. Leuven, that wasn't the best year all the time, but you were back at a good level at least in Leuven without the huge win. Which of those victories was the most I'm back. I'm back at the trajectory I was before the crash, where I should have been, where I wanted to get. Was it Liège? Was it Worlds? Was it the Vuelta? Or were they all actually different because they're different races?
First, I thought Liège, but then I still had the not super good Tour de Suisse.
Okay.
So then I was thinking, maybe I'm still in that up and down period.
That's Swiss. That was the
COVID one.
A heating issue, right?
Incredible.
Everyone got COVID.
Like the laps around Lugano.
Yeah. Was that an ice issue?
On paper, it looked a super normal stage, quite okay. But around that lake, super steep, shorter climbs, technical downhills. It was a bit like Glasgow actually. You went full up the climb, descent. The bunch was stretched out for 1K long. We didn't enter in good position because we were way too relaxed. We thought it's going to be just a stage to pass and keep going. But then after 2 laps, we got dropped already with 4 guys.
All sang scented.
Yeah, super early. The race opened super early as well. And then, completely overheated because I think it was 40 degrees. I had the aero helmet, black on top.
No,
completely. No. This was a.
What was your first reaction if you saw that snoot thing? Were you like, ooh?
When we did the wind tunnel testing, we had to wear it separately. But of course, in the UCR rules, you cannot have two things separately over the head, I think, for the helmet.
Oh,
so
really?
it has to be one thing. That's why the socks, you cannot take them off because it's part of the helmet.
Oh,
The sock is the helmet, actually. You know,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because some guys, they wanted to take out
the
sock, but it just, you cannot do it. It's
Scissors.
just yeah. Still, you cannot do it because the way Specialized,
it's an approved piece of equipment with
exactly.
the UCI.
Yeah.
They went to the UCI. Look, this is the helmet with the sock inside.
Yeah.
Okay, it's approved. You have to wear it like that. But I was also surprised that we were going to use a sock, because I thought it was going to be like the POC helmet, you know, like the alien helmet.
Yeah.
Which is quite a good helmet probably. But then with the sock it was special and a lot of learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think San Sebastian maybe was the victory where I thought I'm back.
Oh really? Yeah. On Lights you were cooking.
Yeah. That was really like best 12-30 minute effort.
Yeah.
What was it? I think
Over
7.3, 7.4, something like this.
11.5 minutes.
Yeah. So that was actually good.
Yeah.
Got my calculator here.
Yeah, because it's raw.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't last climb either. And then Murgil Pontorra, you also did like nearly 7 for 6-7 minutes.
Yeah,
the last climb.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I took a lot of confidence and where I thought, okay, here from this point we can really build towards the Vuelta, or build more.
Yeah.
Towards the Vuelta. And then after the Vuelta, of course, I think winning a 3-week race with only having 1 day of troubles, but let's say 2, the stage 14 and 15, but especially stage 14, where we actually underestimated the climb.
And they're sneaky hard.
Yeah, exactly, because you have like where the Roglic attacked was like 1K 15%, something like that, so super steep.
Yeah.
And on the Velo Viewer, there were only like yellow and orange parts. So we were like, oh, it's gonna be okay. We will arrive with like 5-6 guys together.
Yeah.
But no, completely underestimated the climb, and Roglic went off, and I just couldn't answer it. And the day after was a bit better. Then I had a good rest day, and then the rest is history.
When it comes to that Vuelta and when it comes to San Sebastian, for example, and the years before, you've also had like every time you had a clear weakness or something that was a vulnerability, you worked on that. It's how I'm guessing, because it got fixed eventually. But so not just, for example, there was this thing about, oh, he can't handle steep climbs. And then there was also after Lombardia crash, oh, he can't descend for shit, which is also, I always saw it as, oh, he can descend well, but if something happens in front of him that he's not expecting,
but
then
to be honest, it was at that time.
Yeah,
it was because at that time I was kind of scared to descend in the wheel.
Okay.
Because I was always thinking, oh, he's going to miss the corner, I'm going to go with him. And that's what happened in the Giro 21, where the crash was. I completely panicked and just went out of the corner.
Yeah.
Nowadays it will not happen anymore, because I will always leave like just a few meters in between the back wheel.
Yeah.
And I will always have the time to react and to feel kind of comfortable.
Denmark? I swear there was a corner where Pedersen or something.
You went straight.
Because it was Søren Kragh.
Yeah, he sent it.
Yeah, completely. And I checked I think we were riding Wahoo that year. I don't remember well. But I checked on the map, and it looked like it was like just a fast, slightly right bend.
Yeah.
But it was a 100% corner.
Yeah.
It turned back, and
they're all Danish. They probably know it.
Yeah,
you would
knew it, because I think he lived around that area, so he knew the descent.
There was gravel and shit
and
as well.
Green was in the car, and he was saying to me, "Be careful, there's a dangerous right corner coming." But I said, "Where?" I looked at the map. Where? And then we went into the corner, full speed, like not braking, you know. But you really had to slow like 15k an hour down, because we came down 10%, super sharp right left. I just went full straight. But I was lucky there was a parking place. If there was a wall or whatever, I was again in the hospital. One time is enough.
Preparation.
No? Yeah. Again rehab, again swimming pool. And no, but it's true. At that, like my reaction time, because I was just a bit stressed to do the same mistake as in Lombardia and get blamed for it again, you know. And that's actually what was always going on in the descents in my head. Yeah. But now I got rid of that problem, so that's pretty good. That's good. Yeah.
When it comes to that steepness storyline, that narrative, was that true? As in, did you realize, okay, I'm better at the engine kind of climbing versus the steep pinches? But then you showed up in that Vuelta, and what's the name of the climb again?
Les
Prares.
Yeah.
Then you torched everyone.
Yeah, because I was 1 month in Livigno, trained on Mortirolo almost every training block. So it helps to train on it. And now it's kind of a ritual, and it's something that doesn't bother me too much anymore. Sometimes I have more problem with climbs of 4% than of 14%, because it's completely different way of climbing.
Yeah.
And you think like, how is it possible? It's only 4%, but it feels harder than it is on 14%. But it's just because the power you push it feels easier on a steep climb because you're faster at that 400 watts or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but on the fast climbs, it's much harder. The heart rate goes up. And it's probably also a bit of muscle loss comparing to my first years. So all those small things.
I swear there was like when you were in Tenerife, was it start of this year or something? You were having your training camp there, and on one of your rides you had that little steep climb that you went up and down on. I don't know where, somewhere on the
we
left
did
side.
we did the VO2 max trainings. What's the name? You come onto the big road then.
Yeah.
Circe?
Circe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Circe. Look. It's that was, also there is a climb of 3K, 12%. Especially the first part is super hard. So that's where we train it. VO2 max trainings and then 1 minute all out. 5 minutes all out. Yeah. Which I improved this year.
Ooh la la. We saw that sprint improvement as well this year.
Yeah, was that on purpose, or you just
accidentally started sprinting
5 minutes?
Sprinting. Well, like in Norway, you won the small group sprint. You cut off my Australian friend. You should have been relegated. Yeah, for sure.
He had 2 meters.
No, 2 meters. Get the fuck out of here. I was like, yellow card.
And then the
It's
interview
Jasper
afterwards,
Philipsen.
Luke agreed with him.
Morkov told me you did the perfect sprint.
Of course, Morkov would say that.
So that's why I was so proud. Yeah, he's the king of the lead out.
No, but I was like, okay, sprint, and then you won the uphill sprint. So was your sprint always in training okay, or had you already worked on that, like your explosivity a bit, and that's something that's just gradually improved? And is that something you also like, I need to take bonus seconds? Because, okay, if Roglic and Poggi take the 10, you still got to take the 6 in second. You can't lose the full 10.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the reasons. But I think one of my best sprints this year was in Argentina against Yves Lampaert. I did beat him, but of course I went 1 second earlier, but still.
Which stage was
details?
No, it was just in training.
Okay. Some of those stages in Argentina were crazy when the divider. The sprint stages, man.
And the organization wasn't
I thought
happy.
I was gonna lose my life there. It was horrible actually. But no, the sprints. Yeah, I think we more do it kind of a warm up before hard intervals.
Okay.
But yeah, I've actually tried to work on the technique. Also with Morkov, for example, he said like your core has to be more stable. Really pull the arms. Yeah. Pull the legs also, not only pushing but also pulling. And it went up quite some watts. I think comparing to the Norway sprints, I went up between 150 and 200 watts almost. Yeah. For example, the sprint of San Sebastian was plus 1,200. So it's quite for my body weight.
And your aero
quite high.
too.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think what my strength, I will not have the big peak, but I think what my strength is that even the race is hard, the powers will not go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's a bit like when Alaphilippe won the bunch sprints. At that period, he was so strong.
Yeah.
He's also not the guy with.
Well, not in Dauphiné this year.
Yeah, still in Dauphiné. He's not the guy with 1,500 watt peak, but still because he had that much.
Yeah.
Just over that he could sprint and win. And I think that's something that improved with me this year.
Was Bilbao surprised? Were you surprised that he came back in front of you with 1K to go? Because I was like,
we discussed this.
The way Bilbao rode, he rode like he thought he was going to smoke you in the sprint.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why he came over me last kilometer. It's actually a very good question. We should ask him.
Yeah.
But
you asked me that evening whether I believed that you were going to win, but did you believe you were going to win? With 10 kilometers to go, let's say you go to the line together with Bilbao, how much percent did you give yourself?
Well, to be honest, I had something left on the climb. Mm-hmm. I think I could have, when Bilbao came over me, just before the fence area, I had to wait a bit, and just before the fence, just give it a full send till the top. And I think then he was going to get dropped because he was struggling quite a lot on the first steeper parts. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, there was something in me that said, try to sprint and just see what it gives. There was something that said, you can beat him.
Okay.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. I mean,
so you're out here doing side quests in World Tour races.
but I mean, it's not really like that because, you know.
But you thought I don't need to risk going over my limit on the climb because I can still win the sprint.
But I think that's why I was confident, because I felt he was going over his limit on the climb and I didn't. And that's why on top I was thinking I can go to the line and try and maybe win. But for sure it's Bilbao. He beats the fastest climbers in the world. So yeah, it was a big risk, but it was worth it. Yeah. And it's good to know now also for the Vuelta.
Yeah, well, and because there's going to be there's going to be punchy finishes. It's the
stage 2 already. Second stage is already punchy finish.
In Montjuic, the Catalunya circuit was near.
It's opposite. It's kind of opposite.
Yeah, it's the same castle area in Barca. But back to just a question on the Giro, and this goes into the transfers as well, which we want to round off with. But the Giro,
big news.
Ooh. Yeah, some news.
Some news.
Yeah, Giro stage 1, you win, you smoke Ganna, really good TT. Then you're looking good for Sombrone on stage 8, Roglic. It looked like at the time, because no one knew you were sick. Yeah. You got taken by surprise by Roglic. Maybe he still, even despite you being sick, he still did take you by surprise.
For sure.
On there. Do you think if you won that Giro, big if, but if you won that Giro, you didn't get COVID, the whole narrative around the Quick-Step team, you for the Tour de France next year would be completely different, because you'd have Vuelta, Giro in the pocket, and it's really that COVID, and it's not the team's fault you got COVID, like that.
Well, unless they gave it to you on purpose,
unless the other right, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do you think that's changed a lot in how the team and you are viewed for Grand Tours?
I think it would depend in how we would have, if we would have won it, how we would have won it, because if you look at Roglic, he took the jersey last day.
Yeah.
And there was a big chance that I could do it the same way, maybe. So yeah, I think it's always fair enough to bring big names into the team, because like this, there will be a bit of competition between the domestiques, and they will all take each other to a higher level.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need in this team, because maybe at some point, some guys were too relaxed, like, we have our spot in the Grand Tour team.
Yeah.
Or the GC Grand Tour team.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm happy with the next things that you will probably say, that some guys will come, and already one big name. I don't know if there's still others coming. I hope so.
So you're happy with Landa coming?
Of course.
And how involved with that are you? Does the team say, we think Landa's a good fit, and you say, I agree? Do you talk to him before? How's that work?
Well, there were a few names before.
Okay.
Big names.
Sivakov.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The plus.
Exactly. It didn't, you guys know, of course. It didn't work out, so I was a bit disappointed at that point, because I thought those two, if you have those two, then you can go to war, especially on the climbs.
And you thought, we've missed the window now to get a top tier climbing domestique.
Yeah, at a certain moment I did. But I think if you can get a name like Landa, it's a very big name. Yeah. A guy that knows how to ride Grand Tours.
Yeah.
He knows how to win Grand Tours with his team.
Yeah.
With Froome in the past. So, yeah, I think he's 33 now, which is not too old, I think.
Yeah.
He signed for 2 years. So, I think it's, first of all, a very good rider that comes to us. A lot of experience for a young team, Grand Tour team that we have. So, I feel like this can be maybe the best move Patrick did for this year. But I think it wouldn't be a lie if I say that I expect that I hope that there is one more guy that is just from under the level of Landa that can be on that level between Ilan and Vervaeke, Cataneo, somebody in between that,
Bernard or something,
like a George Bennett or something.
Yeah, I also heard this, but it's
we'll
actually,
see if it happens.
To be honest, it's difficult to find a rider from that category, because it's an expensive rider from that category.
Always.
Well, that's what people don't realize about Sky. Like, those riders are really expensive, and that's how, when you have a big budget like Sky did, or like Jumbo, UAE, Ineos now, like, you can fill those guys who could go to another team, run 9th in GC in a Grand Tour, get paid a lot of money. So you got to pay them more to be a domestique.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to find domestiques.
But to be honest, if we think to the future for the Tour next year, we have super strong guys to ride on the flat. You have Asgreen, Lampaard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's from the level of Luke Rowan, those guys, and Nathan van Hooijdonks and those guys. They can do the same. So on that part, I'm not worried at all. Then it's just finding the good balance between the strong climbers and the pure climbers. And then the super domestique like Sepp Kusis, for example.
Yeah.
And I think we hope we have found that guy with Mikkel now. I really believe he can. Because I always feel like his best years were when he was domestique, when he helped in winning Froome.
Yeah. No, it's like Koos.
That's true.
Like Koos looks everyone like unbelievable now.
Yeah.
But say he went to another team, his level might almost not look as good as it does now, where he's shredding it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it is different.
Yeah.
And Landa came third in the Giro last year.
Yeah, exactly.
18 months ago, came third in Flesh this year.
I did super season. Basque,
second in Basque behind
He's
Jonas.
not a pannenkoek.
No.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
A pancake.
Yeah, like.
Ruta also, no?
Yeah, no, he was, and Tirreno, he was like top 10 in like 4 different stage races. The
I think,
Tour and Dauphiné were bad, so that's recent. So everyone.
But I think they let him race too much in the first part of the season.
Yeah.
I think that can be a big reason why the Tour wasn't.
And then I think he was too hyped up for the Basque start in the Tour.
Probably.
As well.
It's
quite
possible.
a few Bahrain riders that rode Lade. I think Haig rode basically half the calendar.
Yeah, Jack did it every race, man.
Crazy. He's doing the Vuelta, no?
No, he's not
no,
doing
he's
the
not.
Vuelta. Not doing
Okay.
the Vuelta.
Oh, luckily.
They asked him to do San Seb.
Yeah? Ooh.
Torturing Australians over there.
He almost finished the Giro, actually. He went out stage 18, 17.
Jack, did he?
He didn't finish completely, I think.
I can't remember.
But he went out
either.
17, 18, something like that.
And on the Tour on lows, he was his best stage. I was like, maybe you should do the Vuelta, but no. The segues into our big question. Sounds like it. Will you be riding for Quick-Step next year?
Normally, yes.
Okay.
I think it's... I have a contract till the end of 26. So there's this respectful thing. I mean, a contract is a contract. You cannot just say, see you, bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's not how it goes. And the cycling world is not the football world where you can just give 200 millions and get the player or the rider. So, but I think if we can just improve a lot of things, speaking about science, nutrition, just things around the Grand Tour team, I think that then we can quickly be on the same level as the UAE Jumbos, and because we have a lot of knowledge in the team. Especially us, the riders, we know a lot how the others work because there's almost no secrets anymore in the bunch.
Oh, you're all at the same hotels, altitude camps.
Exactly, you just know everything.
Yeah.
For example, we have Swanjer coming from Ineos.
Okay.
He just gives all secrets, I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, when the feeding, how they do the feeding.
Exactly, what's in the feedback, the bidons, how to make the rice cakes, which is a big difference from what it was last year with us.
Okay.
So, all those small things just can really help us to get to that top level.
So there's a ex-Jumbo Visma video analyst available with all the secrets.
Speaks Dutch.
Speaks Dutch, yeah. No, but I believe we really can. I think we just need to improve that. The level still a bit of the Grand Tour team.
Okay.
But that's what I said. If there's competition in between domestiques, the level will go up.
Like Ineos had, making their Tour de France, when they were Sky, like making their Tour de France team was like the hardest thing in cycling.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's how it should. I mean, it's not how it should be, but it should come close to that.
Yeah. To know that your role, you're not just going to walk into the team just because your name is.
And you just want to go with the guys that are at the best level at that moment.
There's a question we've been asking ourselves a few times, and maybe you've got an answer to that. Is we've always questioned, maybe it's because he has other goals throughout the season, but why Asgreen hasn't been coupled more into the GC team? Because you said it, when it comes to the flat domestique, he's good, but I swear he's also climbed well in his history. Like, you can't write Strade on being a shit uphill rider, but also, I swear, Amgen Tour of California in his younger years. So the talent is there, the quality is there, and maybe he can be like a, what do you say? Like a B-Tech Wout van Aert?
Or just that role.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how I see him as well. And to be honest, I asked to have, for the Giro, okay, everything went wrong with the COVID, but to have Julien and guys like Casper or Yves.
Okay.
But they had the classic periods, all three of them. So they were a bit worried this can fuck up their season completely.
Yeah. Okay.
But then I said, but we go to the Giro to win it.
Yeah.
So there's only one goal. And with going to the Tour next year, that changes everything. Then it's like, okay, we go to help.
Yep.
And not for winning a stage.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Because, for example, Julian is somebody I believe in 200%. If he has that level, and I feel like he really likes to work for a victory because he just maybe feels that he's not on that top level anymore to win himself. But like San Sebastian, he just empties himself for me completely.
Well, that Les Perez run in.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
He was unbelievable.
That's what I mean. But if he can do this next year in the Tour as well, I mean, then you're also speaking about the Super Domestique.
Yeah.
And he can climb also very well, like Tour in 18.
He climbs better when he's relaxed. When he's not going for his own, when he's in the breakaway doing Julian things.
Attacking too early.
He wasn't too smart this year, but
but
I think he let go 1 or 2 stages probably. If he would have been a bit smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he picked a stage and if him and Asgreen didn't work properly together, trying to get into the break. Yeah. Like Julian, he was empty by the time the break was formed.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
But I believe in him, to be honest, as a climbing domestique.
Okay.
He's lightweight. He has the power.
Yeah.
He can have his super days and the off days. Also like the super domestiques have, actually.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he's on level and on top level, that he can be one of the maybe 10 best climbers in the world if he wants. Not to till the finish line, but till 3-2K to go.
He can be in the group of 10 as a domestique.
For sure. I think so.
We've spoken about the team and the development of the team and how they can get better and how they can support you better also next to the race itself. But if we take a look at you versus the other climbers in the peloton, if you had to like make a short ranking of how you see roughly the other GC riders in the world and maybe want to roughly place you somewhere on that tier list, how do you see it right now, the environment?
So I have to give the
you can take yourself out if you want to.
Okay.
You can just how do you see like is
well,
it
I think Tour Jonas is absolute number 1
on his own tier
with Tour Pogacar.
Okay.
With good preparation Tour Pogacar.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think those two are really just a bit out of the league.
Yeah.
Under that, I would say it's Primoz.
Yeah.
And then I would also still say G is there because at the age of 36, 36, becoming second in the Giro with only 14 seconds of difference is
after third in the Tour the year before.
Exactly, it's super impressive, and I think a lot of people forget that because you always have the battle of Tadej and Jonas, but G was still there always.
Always in the background.
Yeah, exactly. I think Almeida is also like 4th or 5th in that rank.
Okay.
And I think Ayuso and Rodriguez are coming. Yeah. Like this year also I was quite surprised by Jai Hindley. He did a pretty good tour in my opinion, winning a stage, taking the yellow. Because who finished 3rd actually? I forgot.
Yeah, the Yates disrespect.
Yeah. Oh.
I think Yates.
I'm so sorry.
I think
Which Yates?
I think Yates.
Both. No, because I think both are the same.
We always joke that they just switch around.
Yeah, they switch riders on different stages.
You think?
Yeah, for sure.
It has to happen. It's true.
Yeah, Adam
have you ever seen them in the same
actually,
room?
Because I remember the UAE stage. We did 20 minutes, almost 7 watts per kilo on Jebel Afid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped me.
Yeah.
Got help from the motor.
Well, to be fair, halfway to climb, he switched with his brother, and that's why.
Yeah, but he puts Pogacar under pressure on Hafid.
Exactly, that's what I mean. I think Adam is also super high level.
Yeah.
It's but also racing quite a lot this year. No, I think he's in
Burgos. They're Burgos now, and he did Catalunya where he crashed hard in stage 1.
Yeah,
on that hectic crash in the run-in. I was in the car actually that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a nasty crash.
Yeah.
70k an hour, 75 bikes flying around. But there's so many good GC riders, you almost forget to mention some.
Well, because like Hindley, as you said, Hindley on his day, on the right parkour, if you're having a weak moment, say you crashed 3 days before, like in the Vuelta last year, he can hit you. And like,
exactly.
There are guys that, and Ayuso could improve, even like Gal.
Yeah.
Say there's a course with no TT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you have what was it, the Tour de France of 2 years ago? There was like I don't know, was a tour without any TT or with a real climbing TT up with Planche de Belfi.
Yeah.
I think in that Tour de France he could do 3rd. I was last year, no? Or 2 years ago?
No, it was 2020.
2020, 3 years ago already.
Yeah.
I think in that year we could have done podium for sure with that in that tour.
Especially with the numbers he's doing now. Like
Skelmose will probably also come.
Yeah.
depending on how he develops.
If we had to put Remco in the ranking that he made,
I give it to you. I'm not going to answer this.
I would put him with Roglic and Thomas, but the difference between the three...
Thomas is below.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think so as well. But I think the difference between you and Roglic is that I don't believe Roglic will step up anymore, while I believe that you will step up again.
He said he never had a good preparation as he had now, so can smash everybody next 3 weeks.
We'll see if it's true.
Yeah. But, Primoz is is a special rider, no? It's like mentally unbreakable, almost. And when you see his face, you think he's going to drop in 5 minutes. And then he drops you in 5 minutes later, he just drops you. And then you're like, what the fuck? So it's you just cannot predict him. Some guys you can see on the face. For example, from myself,
you can see when you're struggling.
Like when I start to move too much with the body, when I start to, I know, there's a few things that you can see in a few moments he will drop. Yeah. But with Primoz, you don't have it. You don't know what to expect. Like the stage, like you mentioned, for Sombrone.
Yeah.
I was thinking, he's not going to do anything. He's sitting always in our wheel, not doing anything. And in one moment, sends 2 guys to the front, really smash it completely on a small kicker.
Yeah.
Rides full to the bottom of the climb, bam, on the bottom. Full attack. And I was like, oh no. 7 minutes of horrible suffering. Yeah.
We were doing a live watch-along live stream at that moment, and we were like, oh, Remco staying on 10 meters for the first X amount of time.
But at that day, I felt something was wrong with my body, because normally I went to his wheel almost, and then we took this sharp left turn with like 500 meters to go to the top.
Yeah, you were only on 2 seconds there.
Exactly. I was coming closer.
Yeah.
And I really had the feeling I still have an extra push. I gave that push, came closer, finished. Just the legs completely empty.
Yeah.
And that was strange, because normally in my best days I should just go to his wheel, or maybe on an explosive climb like this, just try to drop the others myself.
Well, you won Liège.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And it was 2 weeks before. So the goal was, if there is racing on, we try to drop them and go descend, ride a small TT to the finish and see what happens.
Yeah.
But other way around.
Well, I think he also, like Ineos on that stage, they sent it on stage because he got dropped by Almeida stage 16 and Thomas.
Yeah.
And then
that was a stage that we were really looking forward. We had actually a plan for the Bondone stage.
Okay. Yeah. It was a hard stage, 5,000 meters elevation in like 160 Ks.
Yeah.
But then there was an easy day, and then the next day, I think Formolo or someone went up to Ineos the first climb and said Roglic is dropping. But then him and Koos were just chilling.
Yeah.
And there was a split. But then they did nothing. And then the last climb, I don't know where Koos just sends it again. And then I think Almeida was just completely taken aback again. Like, what the fuck?
It was a good Giro, but it would have been better if we saw everybody
of course,
fight it out till the end. Not just you, also Geoghegan Hart.
Vlasov, Theo.
Yeah. That would have been
Theo was in great
He was
shape.
flying, man. Yeah.
The TTs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I beat him with 2 seconds. Okay, I was sick, but still, 2 seconds from Theo, you expect on a TT like that, I can give him half a minute.
Yeah. At least.
And
that was the pacing plan, actually, to win. The plan was to have like around 30, 40 seconds on that TT, because it was completely flat and quite a technical finish.
Yeah.
The last 6K, you couldn't gain any time anymore.
Right.
So we thought about like 30, 40 seconds would be great.
Yeah.
And we were on schedule after time check 1, but
Thomas lost it in one of the right-hand corners. They told him to slow down too much.
Yeah.
One of the right in the village. There was a right hand
on the cobbles.
Yeah.
Ooh, but that was slippery.
He slowed down a bit too much. I think that's where he lost it.
Thanks, G.
Yeah. No, thanks to Car.
Oh,
I think he was like, I think he knew he could have gone faster through it.
But you never know with those.
Yeah, the cobbles. If you
it was not even cobbles. It was like Sienna.
Yeah.
Stones. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not real cobbles.
No, it was super. It's even slippery when it's dry.
Yeah.
And not real cobbles.
Worst case, you end up with the same scenario as in the Belgian NC ITT, where you're floating into the ditch. How did you feel afterwards? As in, do you actually feel terrible as a consequence of all the mud, or because of the crash?
I was smelling like shit. I mean, it was horrible. All the mud, the water. It was raining the whole day.
Like a farmer's son.
Well, yeah. I really smelled like a farmer's son. After a big day of work. So it was. I was just too confident because I had a really good feeling that day. A bit the same feeling like I had in the Worlds.
Yep.
During the whole day, preparation, the warm up, but just too confident. We took the rain tires just to have that bit more grip, but it doesn't mean that you can go 10k an hour faster in the corner. So we checked on the training piece. I went into the corner 48 kilometers an hour in the wet. I think you would even go out of the corner with the car. So
Yeah, right.
it was pretty too much confidence.
So I'm assuming Tour next year, you already said that makes a big difference with the Classics guys can come with you to the Tour. Are you going to do the Classics? Are you going to do Tour of Flanders or any of the lead up races? Because Quickstep, I'll say the team's not been good in the Classics this year compared to previous years.
But also, I feel like the first 2 Classics races, they weren't necessarily anticipating the race as much as they were riding as if they were still Quickstep, who was the favorites.
Flanders was better with Asgreen getting in that Pedersen group. That was a change of tactics. But
leading the breakaway was also already a good move.
Yeah.
Just to not have to control the race. But
exactly.
I would like to, but not too many.
Okay.
I will always stick with Liège. I think that's fair enough. If you win it twice, you want to win it 3 times.
10 times.
Yeah, being record holder. It's but yeah, I think it's gonna be a big discussion about that.
You can
it's
win
risky,
Flanders.
but I would love to ride Flanders. I think I know the roads because I train there quite often. Okay, I don't know the roads in racing, but let's be honest. The last 2 laps of Quaremont, the positioning is pure power, also almost because the race is so long. But I think it's always gonna be a risk, if something happens.
Like look at Poggi.
Yeah, I think he did maybe too many classics at a certain point.
Yeah.
Because you increase the risk of crashing as well while you also
if you're a
ride
top favorite
as well.
and you do 7 classics, you're probably going to crash once.
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Which wasn't his fault because...
No, but it looks like it's unlucky, but the probability is it will happen over those races.
For sure. The pothole that was there, I had to jump over.
Really?
And he was sitting 5 positions behind me, and then you just hear like the explosion of the tires. But if I would do any classics, I think it will be maximum 3.
Yeah.
Okay, like Dwars.
And with Liège extra,
Okay.
Liège is inside those 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not maybe 4.
Well, that's kind of like Poggi.
I mean, it's strange because like a Sanremo is also a classic, but it's not a Flanders classic. It's
no.
It's a different classic. But if we speak about Flemish classics, 1, 2, max 3, not more.
Okay.
About Paris-Roubaix for a second?
No.
Never. Still never.
Still never? For context, you rode Paris-Roubaix Juniors in 2018?
18, yeah.
And
double flat on Carrefour l'Arbre.
You broke your steer first, if I recall?
Yeah, because I received the bike from the Quickstep team, the Roubaix bike with the suspension in the front. And something happened. The handlebar just
suspended fully.
Yeah. The handlebar just flipped around completely. I thought it was broken. It wasn't. I actually should have continued on that bike.
Yeah.
Because the handlebar was just flipped around, which probably happens with 50 riders in Roubaix.
Yeah.
Switched bikes. Took the Ridley bike of the national team. I think it was like 8 bars in the tires. It was like
8 bars.
Really, it was like this.
So like Moscon in Ineos spare bike for Moscon,
We turn on Carrefour l'Arbre. Double flat, front, back, same time.
Really?
Incredible. Then the team car just drove past me. Took the wheel out, threw it away. I was so I was angry.
You walked the entire way?
I walked till the end of Carrefour l'Arbre. And there
was it 3Ks, 2K?
Yeah, it's 2.5, something like this. And then
in road shoes.
A fan saw me and gave a wheel of his race bike. And he gave me the wheel. And I said, you have to come get it in the velodrome afterwards. Yeah, no problem, I will come. And then he came to take it. It was like a special story.
Roubaix is such a lottery. And we saw that with Jumbo this year. Super frustrating.
Yeah, exactly.
Get 2 in a group of 5.
They were going in 2 to the velodrome. Yeah. I think.
But even before then, when Laporte flattered.
Same story.
Like, then your race completely changes.
Now we're getting to October. We arrive in October. Tour de France route announcement. Cobble stage with Carrefour l'Arbre on stage 5. Do you skip the tour or do you do it?
They won't do it.
You don't think? No.
Not. Would that be twice in 3 years? They won't.
That would be a lot, no?
No. Yeah. They'll wait more years.
To be honest, I mean, I understand it's kind of exciting for the people that watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But to be honest, in the bunch, it's horrible. It's
Netflix episode.
It's like exactly. But it's like the Strade stage in the Giro.
Yeah.
Which is, in my opinion, not as bad as a cobble stage.
Okay.
But it's maybe it's a bit unnecessary in the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
For the extra stress, for the extra
and the amount of chances that another GC rider crashes out
is bigger.
Yeah. And then your third week is because the ASO then they're like, well, then if our third week is bad because imagine Poggy didn't do this tour, it would have been so bad
this year.
Yeah. Or imagine Poggy or Jonas crash in stage 2 and they're out.
Yeah.
It and that's kind of what happened in 2021.
Yeah.
Like Roglic out, boring tour. They might have Stirato next year because they had it in the Tour de France Femme last year and they used Dauphiné in the Tour de France Femme because they had the climbs of the Tour de France Femme. That was stage 20 this year in the tour. So maybe there's Stirato. I don't know. That's my guess. All right. We'll do quick fire.
Fuck.
Oh, Sterato's not too bad.
No. I'll asphalt it for you.
No,
okay?
they're white. They're chill. They're chill. Just watch the women's highlight video. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
But still, it's always a bit of extra stress, which is
But
it's
and you can't win the tour there either.
No.
You can only lose it. Yeah.
Exactly. You can only lose it.
Quick fire. What's the first 3 videos on your TikTok For You page if you scroll?
On my TikTok.
You have TikTok?
No, I'm not on TikTok.
Really?
Okay, Instagram Reels then. What would be the first 3 topics?
For sure, cycling.
Just like a mixtape of someone just cycling.
Lanterne
music.
Rouge mixtape.
Yeah.
Things about music.
Techno music. Dutch techno.
More hardstyle music.
Okay.
Probably. And football.
Okay.
It's a lot of sports.
Yeah.
Favorite song at the moment?
At the moment? It should be because I have too many.
Name a few random ones.
Randy, Intoxicated.
Okay.
Disturb, Magnetism. Fertile, No Sleep. And many more.
Okay.
Voix sur le chemin by the French chorus remix. It's banging.
Yeah?
Yeah. I did it for a Setbacks mixtape.
Oh, yeah?
It's like the techno remix is really good.
Okay.
I got some TikTok ones for you. If you had to steal a specific strength of one other rider, like an attribute of another rider in the peloton, I wish I could climb like him or do this like him, what would it be from which rider?
Oof.
I know the answer, but I won't help.
You know the answer?
I know the correct answer, yeah.
It's difficult because I want a bit of everybody, like I want a bit more of Ghana, I want a bit more of Poggy, a bit more of Jonas. It's difficult, but go on, tell me.
Would you like the technique of Van der Poel?
Oh, of course.
The technique, yeah.
Yeah.
That would probably make a difference sometimes.
Because Pidcock kind of has that.
Yeah.
And that's why you said you thought World suited him a lot.
Yeah.
Because
not true, yeah. Maybe some really good, better bike handler.
Do you believe in GC Pidcock? Random question that I just threw in.
Because he has to change. He would have to focus on it.
Probably, yeah. I don't think mountain biking and GC goes together, especially in Grand Tours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should believe in it, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
The time trial capacities. I think there's better riders than him.
Yeah.
But the rest he has, no. I think. But I was still a bit surprised that he cracked a bit this year.
It makes sense.
Second week, third week?
It makes sense.
Yeah. But he said he wanted to go for GC.
Yeah, but he took 3 weeks. He took 3 weeks off Tour de France prep to do the XCO preparation, and it's one of them's a 1 hour anaerobic effort, and it's just
mate. This guy took 5 weeks of his Giro prep to do some rehab.
Yeah, and he cracked.
Think about it. Exactly. It didn't work.
Which victory has given you the most personal satisfaction?
Of everything.
Yeah.
What if your response was like a football match from on the leg?
That could be.
To be honest, the TT of last week.
Really?
There was so much preparation into that. The helmet, the bike, just everything.
The YouTube channel.
So I must say the TT really was a big one because I think I did 3 years of Worlds.
Yeah.
Second, third. You're thinking, where is the first? When where's the golden medal? And then you see the course, you think we might have a better chance here than last year. And then you start to think about wheel set, gear, the helmet, which was made for the Vuelta TT last year.
Yeah.
But also suited very well on this TT.
length of the shoulders of the shirt.
Yeah. But I must admit, the one of Castell is a bit too short. It's my big arms, you know.
Yeah, the bodybuilder.
Yeah. The bodybuilder.
I read a
but
tweet
I came back from holiday, so maybe I blew up a bit, you know.
Yeah, happens to me. I go back to Australia and I'm slightly out of GC shape.
Yeah?
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll get there.
2027.
Oh Jesus, I'll be old, man.
I read a tweet this morning that your skin is more aero than the skin suit. Is that true or is that bullshit?
Is the lower arm. Because I take a lot of wind on my hands and my arms and the helmet, which then goes over. But I almost take nothing on my upper arms because my hands are just in front of it. So it just goes off.
Yeah.
So here it should be as clean as possible. So that's why I shave my arms every day before the TT. And
right.
Me too. To have aero podcasting going on.
I got no hair, I got scarring.
On Zwift.
Yeah. Which non-cycling athlete do you look up to the most as an inspiration?
Usain Bolt.
Bolt.
A bit of show and a bit of, it was always there when the moment.
Chicken nuggets. Yeah.
Exactly.
I thought it would be LeBron.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you are like LeBron. Because,
to be honest,
because you come in right.
I'm a bit small, no?
No. But he skipped college. He went straight from high school to NBA.
Okay.
And then whatever he's done.
Nice comparison.
Well, no, because
I feel honored.
Whatever you do is never going to be good enough. When you're like hit the hype he had is just insane. Okay. And then he's ended up having a normal family.
Yeah.
Not drinking, not drugs.
Honest, if you think about it, Kobe actually also. Kobe.
Okay.
In the past, the work, determination.
Yeah.
People don't know, but behind the scenes, if you want to win races, you have to work a lot. You have to work hard.
Yeah.
And that's also something that is into my body already since I was born, probably. So I really like to hurt myself on training and push the limits.
Well, that's why you're here in Andorra, I guess.
Exactly. For only 10 days.
All right, last question. The big one. Why did you start a YouTube channel? And is this, whose idea was it?
Well, so I have my social media team around me.
Okay.
It's Sports Plus Media, but nobody will get to them. It's only for me. No, they also work with some football players, professional football players, basketball players. But I asked them that I could be the only one in cycling with them because they do quite beautiful and special things.
Mm-hmm. The website with all the fire and so forth.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I didn't know I liked it or not. It was so spectacular.
Yeah.
What, the Remco Rojo merch one?
What?
The
also
website,
that one.
Remco Rojo.
Yeah.
He's been saying Remco Rojo to me for a week.
Yeah,
because Landa's coming.
It's coming up again.
Guys speak Spanish in the team.
Yeah, but then again, they came to the races to make videos, but the Instagram reels, which are only 1 minute, now they can be longer, I guess.
But it's better for the algorithm if they're 60 seconds or less.
Exactly. So they came like full days to the TT days, whatever, for only 50, 60 seconds.
Right.
So I told them, look, if you guys put so much work into the small videos, why don't we try to film the whole day and you do the small video, but you also make a bigger and longer video, and we try to put it on YouTube and see what it gives and brings. And the first video was quite a success. I checked this morning. It's
220K.
Yeah, it
was a good
almost 230 this now. So on 5 days, it's quite big.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like well edited, but also your personality comes into it. And like,
it's not corporate too much.
Yeah.
No, but that's what we want to achieve. For example,
average drop style.
Nah, not.
That's not his personality.
Yeah.
Like.
No, we're actually more kind of information things giving away.
Okay.
But not too much
without
either.
Results, of course, because otherwise it would not make sense.
Yeah.
But for example, we're going to shoot here a day in the life.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a long training ride. So the people can see what I eat on a day, what you do on training. Is it nice? Is it boring? Whatever, day in the life. That's what they ask to film. So stuff like that. Probably also there will be some videos a bit more out of context of cycling.
Yeah.
So what I do in free time, for example, or for example, with the music that I just said.
Yeah.
If I want to go to like a kind of or not really a festival, but something like this when there's an event, and I would go to it.
Yeah.
They come with me, they film it, and then I just just a bit of everything and nothing, but it's more to give the people a bit of a view behind the scenes and how it actually works, because racing is racing, but there's a lot of things going on behind that.
Yeah, and a lot of people involved that might not be highlighted as much. For example, people know Koen Pelgrim works with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that's what he did exactly.
I didn't know he was Dutch. I thought he was Belgian.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed.
He's a Dutch living in Belgium, skipping the taxes like Mathieu van der Poel.
So basically what you're saying is that we can claim them as Belgian.
Boy, I should have said that.
Wait, a Belgian Belgian tax rates are cool.
Yeah, but for the Dutch
I live in
people...
Andorra.
The amount of money I pay for taxes, man.
For Australians, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I pay so much money for taxes, man, in Belgium. I don't know why they do it.
Yeah. Did you ever think about moving to Monaco?
For sure.
Yeah.
Now Spain, right?
And even here also. Yeah, we have something in Spain, but it's not the best.
Spanish tax rates aren't that good either.
Yeah. But that's also why I'm here, just to see the area a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe we're neighbors next year. No, probably I will be a bit higher. Probably.
I don't know about that. No, you shouldn't live too high.
No?
No, because then you're getting too much altitude dose all the time, and then you come back from a race. The guys that live up here at 2,000,
I would not live here
too high
permanently, probably, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Like you get something at Bordeaux.
Like a third home.
Yeah, something like this, and then.
Okay, that's good. I live here.
But you need like I don't know, what is it? You have to be here 3 months, 90 days.
90 days. Yeah,
that's quite okay if you combine. If you put your altitude camps here.
Yeah,
pretty easy to do.
It's easy, yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay, well, good luck with the YouTube. If you want any tips, then we're the best in the business.
Thank you.
The top of the game.
Did you like it actually? The video?
Yeah, I watched it. I actually thought it was good, and I'm a bit of I'm a horrible person. So I actually thought it was for a first video. I was like, "Fuck, this is good, man."
Yeah, but I was actually also because obviously I was there the day that they filmed, but I didn't know. How are they going to edit it? What is it going to be like?
It looks so boring, right? They're filming so much, nothing's happening all the time. And then once they edit it, you're like, wow, this is an exciting day.
But for example, like the track testing is one of the most interesting things to show because there's so many. It's like, for us, it's super boring. You just put a new suit, you do 5 minutes of full gas almost.
Yeah.
You come down from the track completely dead. You have to wait 5 minutes, go again. It's a super boring and long day. But then if you see the results behind it on the video, it's pretty cool, and I think the people enjoyed it. So
one thing you should have done was the straight after Worlds win, combine the really well edited piece with like you're just talking into your phone in the hotel room straight after. That's like the personal connection.
But we actually wanted. I wanted to bring the guys to the Worlds TT because we knew there was going to be this video, and it would have been cool to have after the TT the results video.
Yeah,
but we were not allowed from Belgian Cycling.
Really?
Okay.
No, they didn't want us to film inside the team. It was a bit special, but
Alrighty. Cool. Thanks very much, Remco. Good luck at the Vuelta.
Thank you very much.
And any other races you're doing after that?
Lombardia.
Really Lombardia? Okay.
And Corona de Nation. That's it.
Yeah. All right.
It's not bad if you can go in the World Champion jersey.
Yeah, true. That will look
and
nice.
It's a very nice TT actually.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same course as 2 years ago probably, where Koen overtook me almost.
All right. Well, good luck with those. Thanks for the time today.
No problem.
Good luck with the YouTube too, the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care about the Vuelta anymore. It's YouTube, man. It's YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.